Also, so many bank robbers, which we established already. Like the whole town is riddled with bank robbers.
It's like the only bad guy they could think of.
Yeah.
Alien or bank robber.
robber. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, 100%. We got it. Which honestly, a town riddled with bank robbers needs a great Saiyaman more than any other town.
Yes,
guess.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
I just spoke it.
No. Listen, I agree. He just doesn't need to dress like a fucking loser.
Okay.
Yeah. Bro, I will fucking drop kick you.
Why?
All right.
Why?
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Clippy clap.
Bro.
All right, and welcome to Anime Shmanime.
We're back.
We are back with another episode of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball.
Just do that a little bit more. No, not that. That's my thing that I do. That's my thing that I do.
All right, that's it. I'm done. Dragon Ball
Dragon
Z,
Ball Z.
season fucking 7.
Holy fuck,
Season
guys.
7.
Guys.
The end is near.
We are so
Seven.
close.
That's what I said.
The
Seven.
end is nigh of my life if I have to
The
watch
end
any
is
more
a-
of Dragon Ball Z.
The end is
No, man.
actually nigh. Home stretch, I would say.
Holy
We are
Lord.
entering our final arc.
Why does every
Yes.
arc have to be 2 seasons long minimum?
This one's 3.
This one's technically 3, yeah.
If you count this as, I mean, this
You do.
technically.
It's the lead up to the arc.
Yeah.
It's got its own little arc, but it's also...
It is the build up and the lead in for sure, 100%.
So in this... Oh, we're going to spoil it, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, if you're watching this episode, you must see in the title that we have other parts. So go back to the first one.
Also,
we're gonna
thank
spoil
you
it.
for
Yes.
watching this if you are, because this is part 7 of Dragon Ball Z, and if you're still hanging on to
I
our
don't know
journey,
how. I only do it because I have to.
and especially kudos because it's not easy
Yeah.
to listen to somebody just not get it.
Yeah.
No,
week after
Jordy.
week.
I get it. It's just not good.
Yeah,
It's
that's the problem.
amazing. It is
Anyways.
great.
This
Anyways,
is this is
It is
another
childhood fucking amazingness.
And how old am I?
You're a child.
I'm not a child. I'm
Yes.
a grown-ass man.
This
with
is-
grown-ass man problems.
This is a fun, weird season though.
Yeah, in this season,
Yeah.
Superman convinces the Justice League to join Mortal Kombat.
Good summary.
Quite literally.
Good summary.
Quite
Yeah.
literally, yeah.
It's a good summary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good one. I'll give you that one.
This was a season I was worried about this one for you, dude.
You should have been.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
rightfully so.
Yeah, because I
Yes.
just this. I mean, I don't want to say nothing happens this season, but like nothing happens.
little,
this
like,
season.
Well, yeah, but this is
Bloops of things
this is where
happen.
the time skip happens, where you see Gohan.
Yeah, we're catching up a
older,
lot. We're doing a lot of
Yeah.
catching up.
You know, and then
That's
there's a
it.
lot of development in his character and his relationship. You know,
Yeah.
so it's
But and I know this is unfortunate because I know what eventually happens through all of this, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just annoying to spend an entire season on all of that
For you guys, yeah,
when
for
you
sure.
when you know where they take the
Yeah.
character
Yeah.
very shortly after
this.
Yeah.
is annoying to me.
Okay.
But some cool, fun things do happen in the season,
Yeah.
and you do get some growth and development of characters that I really love. That are
Come on, you
I
didn't
would
like
say
Sandman?
all-time favorites. I hate the Great Sandman. I
Great
think
Sandman.
It is
Sandman.
It is such an annoying character and plot
It
line.
felt like a whole section of plotline that was filler and could have just been left out completely.
Yeah, dude.
That whole section.
It's a weird. It was like this was when they really fully. Okay, well, I mean, what we can get into in the story, but like generally speaking, like you said, this is a time skip.
yeah.
So last time we saw Gohan, who is arguably the main character of this entire season,
Mm-hmm.
he was Super Saiyan 2 fucking up Cell.
Yeah.
But he is now a grown ass man essentially.
Not quite. An elder teenager.
No, I think he's
in his 20s at this point.
Yeah.
Isn't he going to high school?
I don't think so.
I can't remember.
I think he's going to high school.
But anyway, but this is also when as a kid, I thought that he was going to be. This is when I thought they solidified his role as
Gohan
the
is
new,
a teenager. Sorry, but yeah, solidified his role.
Yeah, has solidified his role as the new MC.
I agree.
Right.
Oh, it was very painfully obvious that was what they were doing here.
Right?
They
And
did it in a really stupid way.
I don't know about that. Come on, Sandman is pretty kitschy and funny and
Yep.
a little campy, but like
Mostly kitschy and campy.
but come on. I mean, he's exploring the world that he knows and still trying to help other people, but they don't want him. He doesn't want people to know that he's the great Sandman. So like,
Yeah.
he's like miles above and beyond like any power level of any human. We've already established that many times
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
Right. So of course, why wouldn't he become a little bit of a superhero if he's a teenager and
Yeah.
you're a teenager and you had superpowers? Would you not want to be a superhero?
Yeah, I just wouldn't do it so stupidly.
Yeah. A lot of it for me is a lot of it for me is I back the premise, Mikey,
Yes.
fully.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's a great idea to explore him trying to be a normal teenager, having
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
superpowers, wanting to save people, not wanting his identity to be exposed. It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
What I didn't love was that it turned into this super drawn out love letter to like the Super Sentai series in Japan, where like the Kamen Rider, the
Yeah.
fucking Power Rangers thing, like there was this, like you said, this kitschy, campy goofiness
To me,
it
yeah.
that betrayed the energy of this show.
I disagree with that statement.
No, because you have 6 seasons establishing your main characters as martial
Yeah.
artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As serious martial artists who are
Sure.
in tune with a sense of tradition and in tune with a sense of
give
their
you that.
actual martial arts. The Great Saiyaman is literally a love letter to the fucking Sentai Kamen Rider
Yeah.
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Yeah,
and
but
it's, and that to me is a lot cheaper than leaning your hat on centuries of Japanese culture and martial arts.
I'll give
That's
you
where
that.
this show's identity comes from.
It
not
is
through
also kitschy and
taking
campy,
a-
top to bottom.
Yes, but like again, it's through that lens of Japanese tradition and martial
Sure.
arts.
I'll give you that.
This season, even though there are several martial arts tournaments that happen in it, everything surrounding Gohan no longer feels like Dragon Ball Z to me. It feels like a weird Akira Toriyama spin-off with Gohan as this new character.
Or we could see it as
Go.
right, or we could see it as they are paying homage to traditional martial arts because in Super Sentais, right, they're all trained fighters, right? And with
This is a reach, bro.
I want to hear it.
This is a reach.
Keep going. I want to hear it.
like right, and they go out and fight bad guys. So why wouldn't you? And also, the tradition of Super Sentais in Japan is part of their culture, right? That's where it all started.
But it's not as
right?
deep.
It may not be as deep,
That's what
but
I'm saying.
it is. But it is still there and very prevalent.
I think what
And
Mikey's trying to
people-
say is that a teenager, whether in Dragon Ball Z world or not, at this time in the world would probably have known Super Sentai. Like they're trying to
Yeah.
imply that Gohan is aware of Super Sentai.
Oh, I get the reasoning. It
just-
makes sense. Like
yeah.
I said to Mikey, I get the premise that he would want to be a superhero.
Yeah.
He would
Yeah.
dress up. He'd be hiding his identity.
Yeah.
That all checks out. It just doesn't make sense to me in Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, yeah.
That's a different show.
All right, yeah.
Altogether. Period.
Sure, yeah.
Dragon Ball Z is about fighting aliens.
Yeah.
And them wearing their traditional gi.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's Dragon Ball Z. It's not
Yeah.
it's not secret identities and superhero outfits and fucking saving the girl.
Do you
Like,
think
that's
maybe-
not Dragon Ball Z to me?
Do you think maybe they just like did that a lot already and we're like, we need to maybe do something different for once in our fucking lives?
Yeah, that's also the thing.
no,
for
Once in
maybe
our
Toriyama
goddamn lives.
got a little bit, like wanted to take it in a different direction and have some more artistic.
That's what I said. It was a
expression.
love letter to something that I thought was tonally off
Uh-huh.
and didn't fit with the show. I understand why it happened, and I get why it could have been decided on. For me, didn't fit with the show and was stupid. That's it. That's just my opinion on it.
For me, not knowing anything about what Super Sentai is that I don't know
Yeah.
anything about that. To me, it felt like he's just Superman, a shitty Superman. And instead of glasses, he's got a different hair color. You know what I mean? Like that was it. Different hairstyle, different hair color. That's it.
Yeah.
And then he puts this stupid outfit on.
So it's
I
just
love that outfit.
it's just so it's so just costumey and cartoony and like you said
Yeah.
kitschy. Like that's not like we just saw this kid have one of the most emotionally cathartic rage moments ever against Cell.
Yeah.
Where he transcended his species and achieved levels previously unseen. And the very next time we see him, he's gone to his local fucking party city and is running around in a cape
Yeah.
solving mysteries and shit. It's like,
Yeah.
how can you possibly
literal?
tell me that this is tonally
Dude,
on?
it's literal bank robbers.
No.
Yeah.
So here's
what the fuck, man? This is not. We went from cell to bank robbers. I can't possibly fathom justifying that
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
You know, for a Dragon Ball Z purist / super fan, I'm surprised that you don't like this.
This part of the season
Yeah.
was horrible, dude.
Because okay, so
I've always hated Great Saiyaman. You started this whole off being like, you don't like Great Saiyaman? I'm telling you right now exactly why, dude. You asked.
okay. But listen. We can't have continual high octane.
Yes, we can.
Over and over. Like, no, these characters may need a break. They might need a break in finding themselves. There's some development that happens, right? Introducing new characters, like new little brothers, for example.
Which we'll get to.
I love the little brothers. Like I
Yeah.
said, that to me was more in line with the martial arts training and the tradition of this show of training the younger generation.
Yeah.
Within the confines of martial arts.
Yeah.
It's not Gohan running around as a teenager in a
what
fucking
you're saying
cave.
is they could have skipped.
That's so goofy, man.
What you're saying is they could have skipped ahead to all this, and instead of all this setup for the World Tournament, they could have just been like watching TV, and it would have been like World Tournament arc, and he'd be like, "Hey, we should all sign up for that," and then just move directly into that arc, and just remove all this out of it.
Well, that's Kai.
I mean, maybe, but like, dude, for me, like, and Toriyama's done this many times.
Yeah.
He has a lot of different characters outside of the Dragon Ball world. He has crossovers. Arale is one of his most famous characters outside the Dragon Ball world. She's had multiple cameos in Dragon Ball.
Have I seen her?
No,
Him?
probably not.
Okay.
I'm just saying he's not afraid to do
I getcha.
crossovers. I would have almost loved to see a Great Saiyaman manga or
Yeah.
side story or movie or
Yeah.
OVA where he got to really write that love letter and be free of the confines of this. Because
Yeah.
to me, it feels like Toriyama
Yeah.
dropped an OVA in the middle of this fucking season.
Yeah.
And-
It's like
and-
Dragon Ball Z, 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 derp. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z.
100%.
Is that what you're
dude.
saying?
Yes, man. And listen, some people might love the derp, and
Yeah.
you might want 7 seasons of that derp.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's a different show to me.
I see what you're saying.
Entirely.
I see
dude.
what you're saying.
And I've always felt that whenever they bring out the Great Saiyaman, it's almost like they're acknowledging that
We're dumb.
We ran out of shit. Fuck. Here's the Great Saiyaman again.
Okay, no, but okay, here in his defense, I would say that he had to bring him back down. Like Gohan had to be brought back down to earth, right? Because his relationship with fucking
Videl?
right? Because Videl's a human. Right? Like it's not like a Krillin level human, but like actual human from like the most nuttiest father ever. Right? So he had to be brought back down in order for them to meet in that way. Right? He can't like Videl's never gonna go into Gohan's world, right? She's never gonna have that opportunity. Gohan has
point.
to come to her world.
That is a good point.
right. And not to mention, like we know later on, Gohan is more of an academic than he is.
Ah,
is a- oh yeah,
sorry.
But
I don't care, actually.
if Gohan wants to go to school and meet the girl, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Just don't dress up like an idiot and fight bank robbers.
It is 100% that, dude.
Yeah, okay, fair
It was
enough.
the way they went about it. I don't care if Gohan's fighting crime.
Yeah.
Wear the Piccolo gi. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Wear the Piccolo outfit. You know what I mean? We still have the white bandana on. Wear the sunglasses.
I mean, they do explain why he doesn't do that. We'll get into it in plot. They do explain why he doesn't do that.
It's an afterthought.
You just didn't
though,
like
man.
it.
Like the whole character
Yeah.
design. Like
you know what I'm gonna do?
Toriyama obviously really wanted to design this character.
Yeah.
He really must love this guy and this whole homage that he's making.
Yeah.
It misses the mark for me 100%, dude. It has my whole life. I remember being a kid.
Yeah.
And just being like, what the fuck is this? Why are they covering up the cool hair?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here, but I feel like after you've given me your disdain of this character, so there's a service online. I think it's on the dark web. I can't remember. I saw an
Whoa.
article, but essentially, it's
You're not going to order him a great Saiyaman hooker to his apartment or something
no,
like that.
but I
eh?
should know. It's like it's the thing is their service is gnoming, right? So they go and they'll like put a gnome in front of your garden, and
Yeah.
like every time you remove it, they'll put another one there, or a multiple, or they'll even break into your house and put them in there.
This is a service you pay for.
Yeah,
To have somebody do it to you.
no, two other people.
Oh,
right,
Okay.
right.
You're just going to great Saiyaman him?
I'm just gonna Great Saiyaman. I'm just gonna get people to come over to your house and just constantly give you things that are Great Saiyaman.
I'll just collect and sell them to all the idiot fans out there who like him.
You heard it here, folks.
Nice.
He thinks you're all an idiot.
Hey, you know what? Me too.
Oh god.
2 against 1, that means you are.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. To my Dragon Ball purists.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
All right.
All right,
Well,
let's move on.
Do you want to get into this show? We're skipping Senpai's Corner with Dragon Ball Z unless there's anything specific about this season.
I hate the Great Saiyaman. Let me get
That's
into
been away.
Let me
We've
get
been
into
on
that.
yeah.
No, that's obviously all I have.
Okay.
All right.
The world, again, we skip all these things usually. In this season, it might be worth talking about the world for like a second because we're in a new place. We're in Satan City,
Yeah.
right? Which I guess is world
Saitan
related.
City.
I don't know. In the dub, not. It made me laugh though that they call it Satan City because everyone still thinks Mr. Satan defeated Cell, and so
Yeah.
they named the city after him. And I'm like, how did this character become so pivotal in the show in one season?
Yeah, dude.
Like so pivotal. This guy who like literally is a parody of WWE wrestlers
Yeah.
is now one of the most important characters in the show.
It's pure comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the
it
comedy
is,
of relief.
100%.
Yeah.
Also, so many bank robbers, which we established already. Like the whole town is riddled with bank robbers.
It's like the only bad guy they could think of.
Yeah.
Alien or bank
Bank robber,
robbers.
yeah, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah, 100%. We got it. Which honestly, a town riddled with bank robbers needs a Great Saiyaman more than any other town.
Yes.
guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
I just spoken it.
No. Listen, I agree. He just doesn't need to dress like a fucking loser.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the art, do we want to talk about the costume design of Great Saiyaman for a little bit?
Yeah, I think we
or-
should.
too. I
Listen,
think we should.
actually, I've been meaning to get into this. Okay? So buckle up, listeners, all right? I'm going to tell you my real opinion on the Great Saiyaman.
Oh, we haven't heard it yet?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put the mute button.
Okay. Let's skip straight way the fuck ahead to characters and let's talk about Gohan.
Great Saiyaman.
Yeah, the Great
Great
Saiyaman.
Saiyaman.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes.
So he has this like weird Superman complex, right? He's like trying to hide his secret identity. And at first I'm like, why really? But then he kind of explains it. He's like, we just kind of want to avoid the press.
Yeah. Also,
You know what I
are
mean?
you,
Yeah.
you're skipping over the otherworld tournament?
No, we'll get there. I'm just talking about
Oh,
characters.
characters right now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
We're just talking about characters right now.
Yeah. My bad.
That's okay. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, at first it seems like he's just trying to keep it from Videl and his classmates, but then later on he kind of explains. He's like, I just don't want the press to know that we exist. Like we don't want people knocking on our door. And I'm like, I kind of respect that actually, to be honest with you, because nobody wants that except Mr. Satan.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, you
Yeah.
don't want, some people who are famous don't actually want to be famous. They don't want the fame.
Yeah.
Or sorry, they don't want to be famous. They want the fame. I don't know. You know exactly what I'm fucking saying.
Well, he just wants to do the things that he
Yeah.
wants to do. He doesn't care if people know that he's done
Yeah.
them, which is why I kind of respect it. Do you know what I mean? Like even the bank robber fucking Great Saiyaman shit, until later when he like kind of like gets a big head about the Great Saiyaman shit, he just kind of wants to like help people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
One thing you can definitely say is Gohan has never, ever once shown even an ounce of ego
no.
at
no.
any point in this show.
For sure.
Very humble dude.
For sure. And yeah, so another thing about Gohan is he's got a little crush now, which is kind of cute. And I think they developed that pretty nicely compared to any other relationship arc in this show ever,
Well, I
which is
mean-
very quick.
It's the only one you ever get.
Yeah.
I mean, you get
just
people
get
hooking
from
up
like,
left, right, and
hey.
center. You get people
Yeah.
hooking up left, right, and center.
You get
in the
no
show.
context, though,
You get
or
no context
pretense.
at all, or pretense. This time you get a little bit.
You kind of saw it over the course of Dragon Ball between
Yeah.
Goku and Chi-Chi
I gather that that's the case.
Yes.
when they
yes.
were kids, right?
Yeah.
That was a long,
Yeah, well, that's like,
drawn
I'm-
out romance.
Yeah.
You're gonna marry me, blah blah blah. Like
Yeah.
we met as kids, and
See, and
yeah.
what was different about this that I thought was kind of cool is at first, like, they don't even mention wanting to like date. They just like start hanging around together.
They're just friends.
They just start hanging around and like enjoying being. At first, they're not even enjoying being together. He's trying to get away from her.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
obsessed with him in a weird way.
Yeah.
And then later on, they just keep being together.
Yeah, and I mean, his friendship with her even implodes his first little mini relationship that he had with that random girl, and then
Yeah.
she sees him talking to her, to Videl,
It-
and
it's a whole stupid
and
thing.
it breaks everything up, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know. There's a little bit of like a star-crossed lovers meant to be kind of thing going on
Totally.
there, and then
And I kind of ship it. I'll be honest with you.
yeah, man, and then also but it's because the circumstance that they were put into was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, it was wholesome.
And natural feeling and
Yeah.
like not they didn't push it hard. Like some of the other characters, like fucking a Krillin in 18, I'm like, like
So weird, dude.
writing them together was such a choice, and you did it so fast. Like, why?
Let me tell you, I've been puzzled
Yeah.
for over 20 years
Yeah.
by that choice.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
You know what? I'm all for it.
I'm happy that Krillin gets a W.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
That's the subversion.
Yeah.
That's where they're
Yeah.
getting you. Is like, yeah, like who would get 18? Fucking Krillin.
Yeah.
And that is hilarious.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as a kid, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
That's a
Totally.
big fuck you to like, faux
All you
alpha
tall
males.
motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, tall fuckers.
Like you'd think
and
they would have
lots
given
of hair.
You think they
alpha
would have at
males.
least like given Yamcha a shot and have him blow it before they give her to Krillin. The writers, you know. what I
Yamcha
mean?
already blew it with Bulma.
Yeah,
so.
Yamcha
But the
blew
joke is
Bulma a lot.
Yamcha's supposed to keep blowing it.
Blowing it. True.
Yeah.
Very true. That would have been funny.
Yeah. Speaking of Krillin, he like funnily enough wants to like wingman for Gohan later on, and it's fucking hilarious, dude. He's like, "Oh, I'll make sure she falls in love with you, dude." At one point, Gohan's like talking about her, not even in like a relationship way, and Krillin's like, "Love struck." It's fucking so funny, dude. It's too good, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay, let's talk about Videl briefly because she's brand new.
Brand new.
Absolutely brand new.
Yeah.
And like a big brand new character, which I forgive me if I'm wrong, but like aside from 18, who you don't actually get a lot of,
No.
there's not a lot of big new characters
This season or like recently?
in Dragon Ball Z
Just
in general.
I mean,
Like who else is brand new who's like super important that there's like a kind of a whole season about her? Them.
Nobody really, just the
Yeah.
kids, I guess. All the new kids getting born.
Yeah.
But like as far as somebody removed from the families that we know of,
Yeah.
being introduced like that.
an
and then
outsider.
Totally.
Yeah. She's really the only one.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. So she's a tough, feisty, like take no shit type.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I mean, because they kind of get rid of the other Z fighters in this season.
You mean like
Like,
Yajirobe
yeah,
and
Tien,
Yamcha, even Tien,
right?
and
And so-
Chaozu. They're all around, but you're right. We
yeah.
don't give a shit about them anymore.
Yeah, like they're not as prevalent anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess you had to kind of introduce somebody else.
Yeah, but I think they did a good job. They cycled out some characters I didn't give a shit about and gave me one that I was like, oh, I kind of like am interested in this character
Yeah,
a little
and
bit, see where
it's-
this goes.
I love Videl, man.
Yeah,
Videl's
and that's,
awesome.
that's the other thing too, right? With Videl is like you get such a juxtaposition from her father.
Yeah.
like she's like an actual fighter.
Yeah.
like she can actually hold her own. Like
Totally.
she like destroy her father.
Yeah.
and then
You also
learns-
get juxtaposition from the girls in the show.
All
as
the
well.
other girls in
Yeah.
the show, yeah.
Bulma could
Yeah.
not be more different from Videl. You know what I mean? Chi-Chi.
Tell me about it.
You know? Yeah.
Tell me about
The only
it.
other girl who kicks ass is 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not even human.
Yeah.
She's not even a living being.
she's kind of human now.
Yeah, they don't really explain that. They're just like, hey, don't question it.
She's got a uterus,
It
bro.
comes up at one point and he literally says, hey, don't even talk about it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess we're not supposed to talk about it.
Yeah, it just goes back
Yeah.
to the classic. Accept it.
Yeah.
we're moving on. This is what happened.
Honestly, dude.
There you go.
You haven't had to say that to me in a while. And I think
true.
it's because I
Already do it.
Yeah.
it's not even that I
Yeah.
accept it. I just move on from it. I don't think I'm accepting anything. I'm just done with bringing shit up. To be honest with you, dude.
Well, one thing we had to accept this season as well was that Krillin's a motherfucking daddy.
Krillin's a
Yes,
daddy.
a daddy.
Straight
and
up.
he's got hair.
Big
And he
daddy
has hair,
energy.
dude. He looks
has
stupid
hair.
as shit. He almost looks stupider than this fucking idiot.
I would agree that
Yeah.
the Krillin hair is almost more annoying than Great Saiyaman to me.
And when Goku calls him on it,
No.
he's like, nah, 18 likes it. That's literally his excuse for it.
yeah,
But his hair's on point though. Like
Nope.
his
I
hairstyle.
disagree.
Yeah, his hair's on point.
it's a mushroom, dude.
All right. It's very strange hair.
Yeah.
One more thing about Videl, because the way she's like tough and feisty and take no shit attitude is like definitely daddy issues, dude. Because her dad is like not only a tough ass motherfucker, but also like not present. Literally like sits in his room watching replays of his old matches drinking. And so what does she do? She not only becomes him, but is like obsessed with him. You know what I mean? Like she becomes what he thinks he is.
Becomes better than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
by far.
But she does it by using him as inspiration. Like she's got him on a false pedestal. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. Okay, let's talk about some other new characters like a little Goten.
Little Goten.
We got a new little baby boy.
AKA Goku 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we needed another one.
Yeah.
Right? We needed one. So he's Goku's son, which
Yeah.
again threw me for a fucking loop because at first I'm like, but where?
Where's he been?
And also like, when? And then I'm like, oh, I guess they fucked one last time before the Cell games.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Goku never met him, has never met him before.
No.
Which is kind of fucked up because we know he can communicate from the afterlife at any time,
Yeah.
whenever he wants.
But we've also established how bad of a father he is.
I know, we're just talking about it again because it just is happening
Keeps
again.
coming up.
He
Yeah,
can
keeps
literally at
coming
any
up.
time call and just say, "Hey, what's up?" and just never does.
No.
Yeah.
Not once. Which
And I
is,
love the fact that like he kind of just loves his father regardless, even though he's not around.
they all love Goku regardless, no matter what.
We all love Goku regardless.
I mean, I'm indifferent towards
one
him.
of us.
One of us.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyways. We also learned that Goten is like super strong and can go Super Saiyan without ever having trained. And I'm like, does Goku's sperm power up as well? Because like, how else does that happen?
My guess is that like as Goku's base power level increases,
So does his sperm.
So too would his offspring's base power level. Yes.
Yeah.
That actually
that
checks
actually
out.
does track.
Does it?
Yeah, that does
tracks.
track because even in like if you take for example our human genomes and stuff like that, like all our kids are going to be better than us regardless, right? Like so there's a study done with a chess master had 3 kids, taught each kid chess. The youngest one ended up being the best out of all 4 of them. Right? Like
Interesting.
because you're always going to be playing the best person all the time.
Yeah.
And the person is usually older than you. And so you're learning all that stuff at a much younger age.
From the best.
From the
Interesting.
best. Still with all that neuroplasticity,
Yeah.
right? And all that workings and all that being able to soak all that information in.
Yeah.
You're just going to be like a genius.
Except he didn't learn from anybody. He just figured it out on his own.
But I mean, it kind of runs on the same vein.
And this is also a world. And this is also a world where like a lot of your innate power and ability is stuff you're born with.
Yeah.
Like that's well established in
Sure.
the series. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like a lot of these people
Yeah.
were clearly born
Yeah.
special.
I had another like thing I associated with. There's something about runners and how like I guess I could be getting all the numbers and all the details wrong on this, but there was a thing where like for the longest time people couldn't do a 100-meter dash in like 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It couldn't happen. And then one guy did it. And then after that, everyone started fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And they could not figure out why. And they just figured out, like, once people realized it's possible, like, people were just able to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
So
it's
a
like
phenomenon for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to also breaking records,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like constantly, like Guinness Book of World Records, people are trying to do it better, hold that title.
Yeah.
So people continue to reach for that title. It's just like sports, for example, like hockey. You know, the Maple Leafs today, even though. I'm gonna hold my tongue.
Tell me more about hockey, Mikey. Tell me more about hockey.
Anyways, he'll tell you.
No,
more.
tell me more about hockey, Mikey. Tell me about the Maple Leafs.
right. So, but like playing like the team from the 50s, right? Like, let's be real here. Like, they
Yeah.
would just decimate them.
Oh, I get where you're going.
You know what
that's
I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of that's like technological advances, though, right? But like
but
either
not
way,
only
it's,
that, but like the physical advances of even training.
100%.
They play, they train, they play, they train. That's it, right? There's no
Yeah.
in between anymore.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
those dudes would have gone out for a beer and just hung out and then just
definitely
played.
the
right?
lifestyle is different for
Yeah.
sure, and
Yeah.
and no doubt, Goten being born into the family he was born into, the world he was born into, got an earlier start than any of his siblings did.
For sure.
And he's, according to what's written here, half the age that Gohan was turning Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so literally half.
It's like, oh, my brother can do it. I can do it too.
Yeah.
Here, watch me. And then he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like those basketball brothers, the Ball brothers. There's like fucking 4 of them, and they're like all in the NBA now or something.
Okay.
And the youngest one apparently is like by far the best out of
Yeah.
all 4 of the brothers.
Crazy.
Like by far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, good for all these youngins. They're killing it.
Anyways, Goten as in
Yeah.
general as a
His
character.
character.
Yeah.
What did you think of him?
I don't think I get to make a choice yet because like I don't see what's gonna happen with him yet. All I know right now is like I didn't need him.
Okay.
I'm sure in the next couple seasons they're going to.
I can't
Sure.
wait.
I don't
I know.
know.
I'm very excited. For
I can't
Do
wait.
they kill him? Does he die? I don't know. Who knows? I
Very
don't give a fuck.
exciting things.
Yeah,
with
there's
these-
a lot of fun stuff that happens.
All right.
Yeah.
I hope.
And a lot of new mechanics that get introduced.
Oh yay.
And that it leads us into our other little friend. That,
Trunks.
That
Trunks.
is no longer a little,
Yeah.
Little baby.
little baby Trunks.
and
He's like,
no,
I'm a big boy Trunks now.
yeah, no
Yeah.
longer being carried around by Bulma.
No.
Yeah.
But
Just
now,
goes
now
Super
he's
Saiyan.
now he's the
He's Vegeta light. He's a little baby Vegeta.
he is a lot like Vegeta in the
Yeah.
sense that he's like got this superiority complex
big
over
time.
Goten.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
And like he thinks he's like the one who's supposed to be showing off. He's the son
Yeah.
of the prince. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like he's got that.
Yeah,
complex.
he's like, I'm more powerful than him
He's
anyways. We
but
can
he's
both
also
go
a
Super
kid,
Saiyan,
though, and
but
still wants to play and whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also doesn't want to just be a kid because they want to like fight with the big boys.
Yeah.
Right. Which we'll talk about later.
But I love the parallels being drawn there between their fathers obviously and themselves is super apparent.
Yeah.
And then also just seeing like, we didn't see Trunks with future Trunks. We didn't see what his upbringing was like or the kid that he was like growing up.
No.
Or how he turned into this
No,
badass time traveling hardened warrior.
Well,
right?
when you meet Trunks, you didn't know that there was ever going to be a Trunks.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
just see a grown-up Trunks, and he's like, "Oh, you had to make me."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but here we're seeing this, like, in the midst of being molded
Yeah.
by his psychopathic, aggressive ass father.
Yeah.
And we see what that would look like on a fucking 8-year-old or whatever 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Was this the season when like they're training in the hyperbolic or not a hyperbolic?
That was
the
last season.
Gravity chamber? No, he
Wasn't that
takes
last
him-
season?
takes
No,
him
you're
to-
right.
Takes him to the park. Like if you go.
Oh
Super
yeah.
Saiyan-
Yeah. That is this season.
Yeah.
That is this
They're
season.
showing off.
yeah.
It's all the same. They're all the same
not.
season.
Train fight,
Yeah,
fight,
pretty much.
train fight, die.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of fucking characters. We'll gloss over the other new ones, like a bunch of Kais.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We learn about that, which we'll get into in the plot a little bit more.
Spopovich.
Spopovich, a lot of fighters.
Kibito.
yeah, fucking bunch of people. Pikkon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the only other two I'll mention is Goku is the same. Nothing changed with Goku at all.
Mm-hmm.
And because I mentioned her every episode, I'll say Bulma is kind of exactly the same, except now she smokes a lot. Other than that, same.
I actually forgot that she smokes.
Just like constantly like,
Yeah.
and then just spouting bullshit
She's
that
not
makes me
pregnant
angry.
anymore, man.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah. Gives a
that's a good
fuck.
point.
Yeah. It's all the stress of her being like Capsule Corp.
Yeah, she's running Capsule Corp. So
Yeah.
It's got to be hard.
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Must be
Have you
so
seen
hard.
what Capsule Corp is capable of doing?
No, because they don't show you. They just they put everything, make everything small.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of work.
Does
you
it? I've
kidding
never
me?
seen them do that work.
Well, I mean,
They just
you
are
see-
like, hey, I need this small, and she's like, here you go.
They got to smoke a lot of cigarettes to get shit that small, bro.
Dude, I will say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If Capsule Corp was a real thing, I would buy their product in a minute.
What do you
Like,
make in
less-
tiny first? What's the first thing you make tiny?
Oh fuck, I don't know. Like a house.
Why?
Like a portable house. Like think about it. If you go traveling,
Yeah.
right? I just have like a little thing, a little package of all these different capsules, and I
Yeah.
can put it just in a fanny pack,
Yeah.
right, or a side satchel.
Okay, yeah.
Go and then like, okay, I'm gonna camp out here. Just pop little fucking house that I can sleep in for the day.
Yeah.
Then go back into a little capsule. Okay, cool. Little car, cool. I got a car. Motorcycle,
It's pretty cool, actually.
right?
It's pretty cool, actually.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
so how about you put some respect on Bulma's name?
I don't give a shit about
Exactly.
Bulma at all, to be honest with you. She didn't make it. She didn't make it.
I guess
dad did.
technically her dad did, yeah.
Yeah.
But she improves it.
She maintains it.
I guess, yeah.
Watch your mouth.
Woo.
Watch your mouth.
Oh, Bulma is the best. I love her so much.
She is.
All right.
I will fuck you up.
Why? Sorry, Baker. All right. Let's get into plot and arcs.
Okay.
You want to fight me for Bulma?
I'm coming
Now,
for you.
do you know who's going to fight you? Our subscribers and our fans, especially the ones that also still want to subscribe to us if
Yeah.
you like our content.
I'm sorry. Don't listen to me. Listen to these guys love you
Yeah.
and they love anime and so do you. So
Yes.
subscribe and
so,
just
yes,
ignore me altogether.
if you like us, please subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that good stuff. Tell a friend. Yes, please tell a friend and rate us.
Yeah.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Rate us omitting how you feel about me.
Yeah.
Rate us based on how you feel about them.
Yeah, don't even think about Jordy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you hate anime and you're like one of my friends who listens because you like me, then rate based on just me.
Comment, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Okay,
I'm just
let's.
going to ignore Jordy. He doesn't exist to me right
Yeah.
now.
Someone speaking? Okay, let's get into plot. So it starts off, we get like Goku and Kai arrive in the other world. King Kai, rather. And King Kai kind of explains this whole bullshit that the galaxy is split into 4 quadrants, and each one is ruled by a different Kai.
Yeah, I knew this
Yes.
shit was gonna piss you off, dude.
And then
Yeah.
he's the North Kai.
Yes.
this is
and-
just Asspull City.
Yeah, and then they're just literally piling bullshit on bullshit because there's a Grand Kai that oversees them all.
Yes.
Because, you know, you got to pile on like layers on layers.
You don't even know the half of it.
Yeah,
dude.
you don't know the
well, I
half of
do
it.
now. I do.
You don't know how tall that tree goes, my friend.
I know it goes further than this because
Much
I've watched
further.
the end of the season, but I don't know
Yes.
how much further later
No,
on.
you're literally
So much further.
at the trunk of the tree right now. That's it.
Yeah, there's only 2 more seasons though, dude.
But there's other shows.
No, yeah, there's other
Oh
like I
my
mean we're talking
God.
about Dragon Ball Super, but
Oh my God.
yeah, and in the manga, but
If
like
it was
yeah.
good, this kind of shit gets me hard. Like the depth and layering and
World building.
expanding and world bending. But
Universe
when it's
building.
literal bullshit, it bothers me so hard.
So you're saying you love this then?
Yeah.
And that's you didn't hear what I said.
I think I did.
Okay.
We're gonna immediately do Super after this.
We should. I'm down.
Honestly,
The movies first.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
I'm as masochistic as Mikey because I'm down for whatever you tell me to watch.
Well, you don't really have a choice.
No, you're
I
right.
fear for you sometimes for that reason.
Hey,
I got a boner.
we all end up on the other side. Wow.
Someone mentioned fear?
There's that.
Somebody bring up fear?
Mikey's hard for my fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the presence of fear in
right.
the room.
All right. You probably love
just
this
heighten
season then, eh? These guys are scared. Okay, so Goku and King Kai go to the Grand Kai's planet and they find out that Cell and Frieza
Yeah.
and King Cold and the fucking Ginyu Force, who I kind of wished I'd never had to hear of again,
Yeah.
are all fucking shit up in hell.
Yeah.
And so then Goku gets tasked with a guy named Pikkon, who's from the West Quadrant of the
AKA
Otherworld.
Lippy Piccolo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's got these big, chunky lips.
Well, he's like,
and
like
no,
no
nose.
nose.
he's Piccolo Cell. He's Piccolo Cell.
Kind
yeah,
of.
kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, he dresses like a Namekian.
Yeah.
He's got green hair, green
But he's
skin,
not.
but he's not.
a Namekian.
No,
because he's from the West Quadrant.
That's right.
And they don't have Namekians.
Right.
They have whatever this guy is.
That's right.
Okay. So they get down there to hell or whatever, and Goku takes out the Ginyu Force pretty easily, and then Pikkon like takes out everyone else, like showing off how powerful he fucking is.
He is a badass. He's definitely not a throwaway weakling fucking Yamcha or anything.
It feels like it did feel a little bit like I'm not going to see him again, but I assume because this show is what this show is that I'm going to see him again.
There's only one other time you see Pikkon actually, and it's not technically within the confines of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say, because it's from maybe one of my favorite things Dragon Ball has
Yeah.
ever done,
Yeah.
you will see Pikkon again.
I will personally.
You will see Pikkon
Okay,
again.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah, yeah. But I
Hooray.
mean, they, you know, obviously you see him in this season as the tournament begins, the Otherworld tournament.
Yes, exactly, which we're getting to now.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the Kais suggests another world martial arts tournament.
Yes. West Kai,
Okay, and so
which is Pikkon's Kai.
okay, that makes sense because
Yes.
he's like, look at how good my guy is.
Literally,
maybe
yeah.
all the guys should have guys that fight my guy.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about this is probably the big foreshadow towards Super.
Somewhat.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
little stepping
Right?
stone. Yeah.
Yeah, a little like
Yeah,
maybe this is
you
where
don't-
they're
you don't-
hashing it out.
You don't get the big one in Super if this
Yeah.
one doesn't happen first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
100%.
Now that I think about
You
it.
don't get it,
You
Jordy.
guys are fucking
Yeah.
nerds.
Shut up.
Fuck you.
Nerds. I love you two nerds. All right, so
You know what? You're becoming just as much of a nerd as us.
I'm becoming more nerdy, but I will never be as big of a nerd as either of you guys ever.
Okay, that's fair. But you are definitely becoming more nerdy.
Ever.
Because you have definitely, I think at this point, have crossed the threshold of not being a noob.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Right? Like
I'm trying to
like-
be sincere.
Yeah, it felt like that.
Yeah.
Wait, I guess maybe at our 100th episode.
Oh my god.
All right, Weedy McWeeds. Let's
All
keep
right,
going.
anyways,
here.
yeah, okay, so Goku's working his way through the Otherworld martial arts tournament, and in the final, he has to fight Pikkon.
Yes.
And they're fighting, and then we find out, of course, because we always find this out in a good fight, that neither of them are going like whole hog in the fight. They're both half-assing it. And then Pikkon takes off his weighted clothes, and Goku goes Super Saiyan, and now we're gonna get the real fight.
As always, it's a classic tale as old as time fake out.
Yeah,
fucking-
constantly.
You're not going full blast, are you?
Yeah. We literally just talked about this in Golden Boy. With the swimmer chick, dude.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
she's like, I was only swimming at half my speed. And that was a great show, and this show's not that good.
I
okay,
actually
so
agree with that.
wow.
The season is not that good.
That's not what I said when you agreed with it. Anyways, okay,
So
so
the truth comes out about Jay.
so Pikkon and Goku are fighting whole hog. Pikkon's got this move, Thunder Flash, which he's like destroying Goku with twice. He hits him. The third time, Goku figures out, obviously, because that's how the show goes, Goku figures out how to get around it just literally by using instant transmission, which he already could have done. He just didn't do it before. This time he does it.
He can just do it on a whim.
Anytime he could do it.
I would just be fucking zip zap
Yeah.
fucking all over the
Zip
place.
zap your way out of everything, dude. But he chooses to hold off, and then in the last minute, he's like, oh, wait a minute. I can fucking zip zap out of this. So he zip zaps behind fucking Pikkon, and he blasts him with a Kamehameha and knocks him out of the ring. So we think Goku won. But as it turns out, the Grand Kai reveals they both touched the ceiling. And therefore, they're both disqualified.
It was like it was such a fucking cop out ending
dude.
to them fighting and being like, how can we make it fight so that they don't really beat each other?
Yeah.
But we kind of have a
Look at how evenly matched they are.
Goku didn't lose.
Yeah.
But it was not really a win.
Either.
It's like, oh my god. Okay.
It's
Okay, let's get the season going, please.
You know what though? Like, I mean, if you think about all his other fights, they were so definitive.
Yeah, as it should be, man. You're talking about the most powerful fucking guy in the universe.
It'd be good to have a non-definitive like win if it wasn't just they both touched the ceiling. So
Technicality.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I mean, this is a tournament arc, right? Like but in the confines of a like actual martial art tournament.
Yeah.
not
There
like
are rules.
There
and
are rules.
What's
yeah.
funny is I know this is a tournament-based show, Dragon Ball Z, except until now I haven't actually seen one. The Cell games were supposed to be one. It's
bigger in Dragon
but they
Ball.
weren't really.
Yeah.
You know what I
Bigger
mean? So
in-
this is the first time I've seen a real tournament.
There's
with
a lot more
rules like
world,
that.
a lot more world tournaments in
And
Dragon
so
Ball.
in season 7 of a show, it throws me a bit that there are stupid rules like that because I've been seeing people fight for 6 straight seasons, and none of that shit's mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Cell games was a little bit of a step back towards that old tournament.
It felt like it
style.
was supposed to be, except they blasted through Cell Games fighters so fast. You know what I mean? Like they
True.
didn't really spend a lot of time in the tournament.
in a tournament
They
format.
just got really
Yeah.
quickly to Goku versus Cell,
and that was it.
and then quickly to Gohan versus Cell, and that was the end, right?
Yeah,
there
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
really a tournament. There wasn't
Fair.
really a bracket going on.
That's fair.
Anyways, you said you'd like to get the season going, which we will, because now Gohan's in high school in Satan City, and we get to meet Great Saiyan Man.
Yes.
Which is like really what you meant when you said let's get the season going, right? Jay's not going to talk, which is good because we'll get weeds again. So Mikey, you and I are on our own for a little bit here.
For our listeners, Jay just pushed away his microphone
Yeah.
and now is laying on me.
Okay, so he's fighting bank robbers. We get a moment with Nimbus again, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I cannot unsee Fart Cloud. I'm sorry, I can't unsee it.
You know what's funny? I was talking to one of our TikTok followers, and she got an Akatsuki. You don't know this yet, Ron.
Nope.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, the cloud, and I was like, oh, fart cloud.
Red fart cloud.
Red
You
fart
are
cloud.
welcome.
Yeah, I was like,
Didn't I say on my first episode that my goal is to ruin parts of anime for you? And
You've done that a few times.
Yeah,
I've
you've
done
done
it.
that a few times. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, he becomes this legend known as the Golden Warrior because he's got yellow hair, and Videl is like pissed off because she's supposed to be the superhero, so she's super mad. There's another superhero on the scene.
Yeah.
And Gohan's in class, and his whole thing is he's trying to keep a low profile. We established that, but he keeps blowing his cover like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He's like revealing things. People are like, "Oh, you're the new kid. Where are you from?" He's like, "Oh, I live 600 miles away," and they're like, "What? How do you get to school?" And he's like, "No,
I fly."
Yeah, he has no answer for them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's
There's
also
a-
like socially inept because he's been hanging out with
Yeah.
fucking Saiyans this whole life and going to different planets.
He doesn't know how
right?
humans
Like,
are. The
He
only
was
human he knows
raised
is-
by a green skin alien.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Literally.
And now he's in school. And he's like, "Look at all these normal people."
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a baseball episode, and again blowing his cover because he just flies to catch a fly ball, and also takes a fastball to the head and like doesn't even flinch, and the whole class is like, "What?" Like, they can't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Videl's like, "What's your deal, man?" Like she wants to know more. Everyone else is
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, he's crazy," and she's like,
Yeah. There's more
Um,
to you.
Exactly.
I need to know.
exactly.
And I
Okay,
need to have your babies.
does that happen?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I assume yes, because that's how this show goes. They just like pop babies out without people ever getting it together. Like
I mean, it isn't Golden Boy, so let's.
Nothing is.
that's a good
Nothing
point.
is. That's true. Nothing is.
Okay, so Golden Warrior becomes Great Saiyan Man, and he gets his ridiculous costume. And someone at one point calls him Great Mayo Man, and I legitimately laughed out loud. I love that.
like that.
So yeah, Videl is obsessed with figuring out who Great Saiyaman is. She's chasing him down. He's constantly trying to like avoid. At one point, he like literally like he can't transform out of his outfit because she's like falling around. So he like flies her helicopter up to the roof of the building. He's like, "Ha, I got you," and then changes out of it. And then right after that, he blows his cover still because he shows up late to class, and they're like, "Why were you late?" And he's like, he doesn't know how to answer. And then the mayor gets kidnapped, and anyways, a whole bunch of stupid shit happens.
I'll say.
Yeah, a bunch of stupid shit happens. Yeah,
This is going to be a short episode, guys.
it could be. Yeah. Side note: there's a scene where Videl is trying to save the day, some big bus accident, and like Gohan runs in and saves the day by catching the bus like a fucking Spider-Man. And I'm thinking as I'm watching this, I'm like, everybody dies
Yeah.
if Gohan wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like
I think
everybody's dead.
As far as physics go, too, I think everybody would have died if he stopped it abruptly with all that impact in
A
a bus.
lot of fucking head injuries. I'll be at the very least. Yeah, at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We get a funny like little episode with pterodactyls and dinosaurs and little
Yes.
Chobi, who apparently is the son or child or whatever of the dinosaurs that Gohan hung out with when he was young.
Yes.
And
See,
that,
now, this is the kind of nonsense that I'm here for.
I didn't understand how.
Yeah, the callbacks are cute.
I
They're
like the
fun.
callbacks.
Sure,
I like
it
the
just
callback,
was
right?
such a dumb fucking episode, man. The stupidest, man.
Yeah.
The stupid, like literally, like this little dinosaur is in the circus,
Yeah.
and it's Goten who's like, "You got to save my little dinosaur friend," and Gohan's like, "All right, I'll save him," and he goes and sets him free from the circus, and then the circus is like, "They stole our dinosaurs," so now the cops are after Gohan.
Yep.
And then the parent dinosaurs come in and are fucking shit up, and the cops just shoot at these giant dinosaurs with their guns.
Yeah.
And then Gohan just like saves the day. That's the end. And he's wrapped up in a neat little package. And you love this?
Yes.
It was fun.
Yeah,
guess
it's
so.
fun. It's cute. You know, it
guess
feels
so.
like old Dragon
heartwarming.
Ball.
Yeah, it also has a bit of nostalgia now with the callback,
I guess.
right?
It
Yeah.
bothered me.
Everything bothers you, you son of a bitch.
In this show, a lot of shit bothers me, dude. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Okay, so at the end of this episode, Gohan, while trying to save Videl from a pterodactyl attack,
Yeah.
blows his cover permanently, and she now knows who she is. And she's like, "I'll tell everyone who you are unless you enter this world martial arts tournament," because I guess she wants to prove she is stronger than him.
Yeah.
Right? She wants to fight against him. So he's like, okay, fine. I'll join the fucking tournament. And so then he goes and convinces all his buddies to join the tournament as well.
Yeah.
And they're all like, oh, yeah, that could be fun. We'll just fuck all these humans up. We'll just destroy all these humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't even be close, guys.
Yeah.
Won't that be fun?
Won't it be fun to just beat the fuck out of some helpless humans?
They won't know what's
They'll have
coming.
no idea.
When we kill them.
Literally.
But
Literally.
I think it's also just for them to fight each other. Give them this
For
excuse,
sure.
right? That's
They
what
must
really wanted
know
to-
that's how it's going to end
Yeah,
up.
They
right?
must
They
know,
know
yeah.
exactly.
They
right?
must know.
Like, I mean, I think this is the one where you also see like 18 just kind of like tap the fucking
Oh, yeah,
punching
yeah,
machine.
the punching machine
and
was
it just
funny.
fucking boosh.
Yeah. The thing with them just wanting to fight each other is they can do that without beating up humans still at
Yes.
home.
It's true.
But I
Just
mean,
go fight.
Yeah.
It's having also like parameters that
Yeah.
they have to also fit into.
They can do that at home.
Yeah, but it's all set up for them.
But what you're saying is they're lazy.
Yes.
They're either lazy or purely doing it for the notoriety and fame and screaming
Which
fans.
they're not because
Yeah,
they're
no.
all pretending not to be themselves.
Yes.
Of course.
So it's
therefore,
literally just lazy
laziness.
or psychopathic.
Or-
Somebody set up a tournament for us. Let's
Yeah.
go crash it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. That's it, though.
It's wedding crashers. They're going to crash a wedding essentially for them. Is this their version?
Budokai Tenkaichi crashers.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Right, they're going just to have some fun. They're not going to take it real seriously.
Yeah.
They're going to go play around. Like, hey, it's a nice evening out.
Totally. Little do they know. We'll get
They just
into it
leave
though.
dead bodies in their wake.
Pretty
you know?
much. Yeah. after the tournament.
Another fun crashing.
That was so much fun, guys.
Let's do it again next week.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z is the best. Okay, so at the end of this episode, after everyone's in, and they're like, yeah, we'll fight in the tournament, we hear a voice from the sky, and it's Goku, just literally from the other world going, count me in.
Hey guys.
Yeah, count me in. And they're all like, whoa, what? It's been how many years and you haven't bothered to speak to me or my son or your new son or your friends, and you chime in finally to say like, hey, I'll fight in this tournament.
They're gonna let me come back for one day.
One day.
To fight in the tournament.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to come back for one day for the birth of my son.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for this tournament,
Yeah.
I'm coming back.
Exactly.
The only time you'll ask. But that's so Goku.
Of course it
That's
is.
so Goku.
Of course it is. Absolutely. Fucking bonkers. Okay, so over the course of Gohan getting all his buddies to join the tournament, we meet Krillin and 18 again and their baby, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I guess. And Chi-Chi is randomly like down for Gohan to participate, and I'm like, is she changing her tune? But no, it's just because she's for some reason a gold digger now. Like all she cares about is money this whole season.
Well, I mean, your husband's dead.
No breadwinner at home.
Yeah, no
I guess.
breadwinner.
But,
Right?
like,
She's a stay-at-home mom.
You don't
Yeah.
think they're being taken care of by the community? Like,
No, man, nobody knows.
I think they're doing all right for themselves. I think they're doing all right for themselves.
They probably are because,
Yeah.
Bulma's in the picture. But
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, she's probably lonely.
She's lonely, but
Right?
so she wants money.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
that solves loneliness.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least eases it. Go fucking,
All right.
shopping
That
therapy
was the saddest
is a thing.
moment of our whole podcast.
Yeah, money, because when you're lonely,
Money solves loneliness.
if you have some,
Yeah.
you're happier.
I guess.
Okay, so
Oh, fuck.
Gohan is training with Goten, and at first he's not training with Goten. Goten's just hanging around,
Yeah.
and like fucking his shit up and bothering him. And then randomly, while they're like fucking around, he's like, "Okay, fine, let's spar a little bit." And then Goten just pops into Super Saiyan out of nowhere.
How did that hit you? That moment, was that like a what moment, or was that just like a?
It was more like a what?
okay.
Not like a what? More like a what?
I remember.
Question mark?
As a kid, that was incredibly hype.
Really?
Yeah, man, because like I think everybody expected this like long fought, drawn out battle to reach that point, the same way you had with most of the other characters, excluding maybe Vegeta, or I guess adult Trunks as well. But like, with Gohan, he had to fucking really work at it. With
Yeah.
Goku, he had to work at it multiple
yeah.
seasons long, right?
Yeah.
And for this one to just come like, I mean, it felt like he could have farted.
Yeah.
and ended up in
Yeah.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I
Sneeze. Yeah.
Yeah.
on one hand, like it's annoying because like it fucks up the power scaling pretty significantly
Yeah.
when this happens. But at the other end, it's like, oh, they just fucked up the power scale.
Well, bro,
in a
power
pretty major
scaling's
way.
been
That's
out
sick.
the window for seasons.
I
So
know.
it doesn't
It's just-
matter.
it's just cool.
Nothing
Yeah.
matters in this show.
It's cool to
Ever.
have that come through a little kid character all of a
Sure.
sudden be the one being like, whoa, fuck.
It did feel a little bit to me like they're like, we don't have time to put this guy through what Goku or Gohan went through, so just he can do it.
Yeah.
that might have been the logistical reason.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. He could just do it.
Yeah.
Just make him do it.
Because they want to introduce more powerful characters, right? And
Yeah.
like having them to do that again.
Yeah.
Right. This is a very easy way of being like, fuck yeah, like we said, fucking up the power scaling, but like also boosting it up like very quickly.
Sure. All right. Well, we find out that it's Chi-Chi who's been training him, which again, I can't figure out her motive on this. Like, why? Because she's so anti-training and fighting.
Protection, probably.
Yeah. I
guess so.
Self-defense.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It's just weird for her to change her tune before because I guess maybe it's because Goku's not around to protect them.
Aliens cross the universe to fight her husband and
Yeah.
her son, like
Yeah.
all the time.
All the time.
Sure.
Like
So-
she almost lost her son.
Yeah.
They travel through
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
to kill him. So I
Yeah.
think she just wants them to be prepared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Then Gohan brings Videl home and Chi-Chi gets rattled when she meets him. In the dub, she literally screams at him, "You're trying to snare my innocent boy with your feminine ways." And then it's funny, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, "Oh, because you were a young hussy once upon a time. Like you tried to snare Goku and you got him with your feminine ways."
She was a bit of a young hussy in Dragon Ball.
Am I right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little
Okay
bit.
then. So she sees. But then she turns her tune really fast when she finds out that Videl is Mr. Satan's daughter, and she gets cha-ching in her eyes.
Cha-ching.
Yes.
And she's like, "Oh, my future daughter-in-law," and
Yeah.
she loves fucking Videl.
Yeah.
So now Gohan is training Videl and Goten, and he's trying to teach them how to fly, and Goten kills it immediately, and Videl like can't get it.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't matter because eventually she does. And that's that. So meanwhile, everyone's kind of training leading up to the tournament. Vegeta and Trunks are training, and we find out Trunks can also go Super Saiyan without ever having trained for it. He can just do it. Krillin and 18 are training, but they're really just like beating each other up. and she's like dominating him. They're just like literally in the sky, like beating the shit out of each other, and she's fucking him up. And I'm like, oh, this is how they fuck for sure. I guarantee this is how they fuck, dude.
I was just about to say that. Like, no,
she just tosses him around
This is
for
their
sure.
foreplay. This
Yeah.
is their foreplay, and
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Honestly,
I
me
would,
too, bro.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm into it, dude.
Jay is so
Nice.
uncomfortable
Yeah.
right now.
We're gross guys, dude. We're disgusting.
You're pretty disgusting.
I mean, we're still coming off of the Golden Boy.
That's true. That's
episode.
true. Forgive us. Okay, so Piccolo is training too, but really all he's doing is floating in the sky and meditating.
Yes.
But everyone's like losing their mind about him doing it. They're like, "Oh my god, he's training so hard."
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess, sure, he is. Then the whole gang heads to the tournament together in an airplane,
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Which is like, why? You can
'Cause-
all fly.
Well, I mean, think about this for a second.
You can all fly,
No, no,
Mikey.
wait. Think about this for a
Yeah.
second, right? They know they're going to crash this fucking wedding,
Uh-huh.
right? They know they're going to eventually fight each other,
Yeah.
right? They're going to have some fun with it.
Uh-huh.
They want to preserve their energy, right? Also, maybe enjoy some of the amenities that flight.
Amenities, Mikey.
I can't.
Amenities.
I think the preserving energy one is really the only possible.
It's a fucking stretch though. Anyways, in the plane ride, Gohan's like, "Oh, by the way, everyone, don't go Super Saiyan." And they're all like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense," because I guess nobody really wants the press. And coming off of the Cell games and like with Satan taking all the credit, for some reason they all just want to stay under the radar. And I guess it's just because they don't want the publicity. I don't know. They're not interested in fame.
They're good people.
They're
Yeah,
good people. They
sure.
want to live a normal life.
Yeah, and they assume they're not going to need to. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
They assume they're not going to need to. Okay, so we're at the tournament. Something funny that's happening at the tournament is Piccolo's like blowing up all the cameras, like for no
Yeah.
reason. He's just like, fuck all these cameras. And I think it's because he doesn't want any of their cover to be blown, and him of all people, he can't hide his cover.
Yeah.
He's literally a giant green alien. So he blows up all the covers, the cameras, and then they bring out the punch machine. And they're all taking turns with the punch machine. And like half of them can't help themselves from like punching it hard.
Yeah.
To the point where they're like, oh, this one's broken, so let's get a new one. And then Vegeta comes up and just explodes it. He blows it up completely.
Yeah.
And they're all wowing at Mr. Satan, and then he's just like buried in the dust by all their scores. And then before the tournament can start, we have to watch a movie about Mr. Satan's great epic win over Cell, which was the funniest fucking shit ever, dude. And Mr. Satan's actually freaked out by it because he's worried he's going to be exposed. So like the
Yeah.
whole time it's on, he's like, "What? No one told me this. I didn't authorize this."
Yeah.
Anyways, and then Goku loves it for some reason. Everyone else is like, and Goku's like, "It was such a good movie."
Yeah, because they know,
Yeah.
right? Powerful people know, like, they don't care.
No, he
Like,
just
right?
enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah.
Posers care.
Like Mr. Satan. Yeah. Hell yeah. And at the time, Mr. fucking Saiyaman, who's also a poser in this moment. Okay, so first up is
For
the
different reasons.
Yeah, exactly. So we get juniors fighting up first, and all the kids are like shitty assholes to each other. They're all just talking shit and being little snotty ass kids.
Some kid tries to bully Trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate them all. I hate all these kids. And meanwhile, I'm like, that kid's going to get his ass handed to him.
Literally, yeah.
Guaranteed.
Can't wait.
And then that's what happens.
Yeah.
Side note, all the audience members are shitty too, including Bulma and Chi-Chi, who are literally just like hockey moms screaming from the
The best,
sidelines.
dude. I fucking love it. Man.
Yeah.
I love it. It's one of my favorite dynamic. Any tournament arc
Yeah. Yeah.
always hilarious.
And Bulma and Chi-Chi are literally at one point arguing over whose son is stronger.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking hilarious.
Classic.
Yeah, that is classic hockey mom stuff.
Yeah.
They all care though. Like even before, like when Vegeta finds out that Goten and Trunks can go Super Saiyan so easily.
Yeah.
He's pissed off because
yeah,
they've
yeah.
reduced it to like a fucking child's like playtime or whatever,
sure.
right?
Yeah, that's
But-
also true.
But also like he catches himself because he's actually still kind of stoked because Trunks is a little bit stronger than Goten.
Oh, yeah. He even says that when he finds out. He's like, wait a minute. Can Goten do too? Yeah. Who's stronger?
Yeah.
Me? He goes,
yeah,
So, like,
you still have that fatherly thing
Oh
going.
yeah,
on,
like, he
right?
doesn't.
Like, all the pride.
He gets over the fact that they can go
Yeah.
Super Saiyan as long as Trunks is more powerful.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, man, it runs
Which
in
is
their
like,
blood. Dude.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
100% toxic parenting.
yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
same
dude.
thing. It's the same thing.
It's learned behavior, obviously. Yeah.
Sure, 100%. Oh man. Okay, so Goten and Trunks each beat up some dickhead kid, and then they have to fight each other. And the whole time they're fighting, they're just like one-upping each other.
Yeah.
And for some reason, nobody is too shook about their flying or Kamehamehas, but they get really fucked up when their hair goes blonde.
Yes, which is not supposed to happen.
No,
of course.
But again,
said.
the flying and the like energy blast doesn't bother anybody, but the blonde hair really blows their minds.
And the way the blonde hair comes out is, Trunks classic, like just like his fucking old man.
He's a dickhead.
He starts being a dickhead and toying with Goten, and he's like,
Yeah.
all right, fine, I'll just use one arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Goten is like, not such a pushover, obviously,
Yeah. He's
right?
like, fine, I'll do one arm too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then, Trunks has to pull out the other arm.
Of
and when
course.
he does, he also goes Super Saiyan.
Absolutely.
At the same time
Yeah.
and fucking blows the cover.
Absolutely, yeah.
Classic, man. I love it.
Goten
I love it.
also mispronounces the Kamehameha and like does it wrong, and it's still so powerful. And at that point, that's when Trunks realizes he's like, "Oh, I actually have to step it
gotta
up."
do this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Um,
I love this little rivalry though between the two of them. I really do. I
Yeah.
feel like this was something that I always wanted to see between Goku and Vegeta, but you just never got that relationship with the two of them.
well, Vegeta had
Well,
it, but Goku couldn't give a shit. He didn't
Yeah.
care
No,
at all.
You didn't get
Yeah,
this.
you didn't
You
get
didn't get
this-
this childhood rivalry.
Oh, childhood rivalry.
Yeah.
Right.
Where
right.
like you're best friends, but at the same time rivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like
also on
you-
very even keel. You have
Yeah.
basically the same abilities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a nice little. It's just a nice little rivalry to set up.
Sure.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you won't get this, but it's very Naruto Sasuke kind of thing.
Yes.
Right. But I mean,
Even closer, I feel. They're
Yeah.
even tighter than that, familial wise.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So in the end, Trunks wins, and it's because he cheats. And in the end, for some reason, the announcer of the fight just goes, "Whoa, that was really impressive. This guy should fight Mr. Satan." And again, Mr. Satan's like, I didn't authorize this, but now the crowd's cheering and he has to come out. So he comes out and meets Trunks in the ring, and he's like, "Let me teach you something about pro wrestling, kid." And he tries to convince him that it's all for show and it's all fake. And Trunks is like, yeah, absolutely. And just destroys Mr. Satan. Like, knocks him out of the ring against the wall. And everyone's like, "What? Okay. Yeah, what?" And that's the end of that. Okay, so now the team, before the fucking like actual adult tournament, they grab a big old classic Goku feast. They're eating and eating and eating. As they're walking back to the ring, they run into this random like floating purple dude and a huge pink guy, and they're all like, there's just these two mysterious aliens. Like, wait a minute, I thought we were just fighting a bunch of regular old humans, and there's these two weird aliens, and they're like kind of shook about it, and it's weird, and we don't really know what's going on yet, but we'll find out later. Meanwhile, Trunks and Goten enter the adult fight as a literal Muppet Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
And this
Classic.
so
Like
this-
two kids on the shoulder.
Yeah,
club.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, this is the relationship that we're talking about,
Yeah.
right? Having
they just
be-
beat the shit out of each other, bullied each other, even Trunks.
And it's very, very like adolescent boy stuff.
For sure. And then they're like,
Right.
"Don't you want to fight the adults?" And Goten's like, "Okay." And they just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Testing boundaries, testing limits.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
But again, dude, Goten is just like so his dad through and
Yeah.
through. Just
Yeah.
like, okay. Just like,
let's try it.
Trunks is the fucking evil mastermind.
Yeah.
Totally.
And Goten is just along for the ride.
Absolutely.
It's their dads.
It is 100%. So we get to the fucking draw, and there's like a fucking cast of characters in this tournament. Like just a
there ever?
panel of weird fucking weirdos, dude. And most of them are like just huge dudes. Like most of them don't have much going on for them. And at this point in my head, I'm thinking, there's going to be so many fights. Do we have to watch them all? I was like, do we have to watch all these fights?
The answer is yes.
Yes.
You do. More
Fucking
or
hurts
less.
me. Meanwhile, Piccolo, the first fight is Piccolo versus that little pink dude. Maybe not the first fight. I don't even care the order of fights. But anyways, Piccolo versus the little pink dude, and Piccolo is shook by this guy, visibly. He's like freaking the fuck out, and he can't figure out why. And out of nowhere, he's just like, "I concede." And everyone is like, "What?" Including me watching, like, "What? Why?" Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And as they leave
This
the
point,
ring,
the stranger is known just as Shin.
Yeah, that's
at
right,
this point,
Shin. Yeah,
just
yeah.
only as Shin. Also, Krillin was the first match, and it was just a quick.
oh, okay, yeah. Again,
over
so
and
many
done.
matches. I don't
I know.
care.
I'm just saying, for the Krillin fans out there, he fucking wins.
Okay. I am a Krillin fan, but I don't care about most of these fights, so we'll probably skip a lot of them. Anyways. So as they're walking away from the ring, Piccolo and Shin passes by this huge dude named Spopovich and like eyeballs him hard.
Yeah.
And this is before I know anything that's going on. Way before, and I'm like, what does this fucking little dude know, man? Because I don't know who Shin is, I don't know who Spopovich is, but I'm
Yeah.
like, something's going on here.
Of course.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm so smart that I clued into this.
Yeah. You're really on the ball, Jordy.
I'm really on the ball.
Especially because he fucking
Dragon
missed
Ball.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, pretty quickly, we're like outside the ring, and Piccolo approaches Shin and is like, dude, what the fuck's up with you? And he's like, I'm the Supreme Kai.
Yeah.
No, Piccolo goes, are you the Grand Kai? And his buddy's like, how dare you even insinuate such lowly on my friend here? And he's like, no, he's the Supreme Kai. And Piccolo's, blah, what? This is the stuff of man. He's freaking the fuck out. And I'm like, Supreme Kai? I could care less at this point. Dude.
Just more bullshit for Jordy.
Stacking
I
on top of
love
the
it,
bullshit, dude.
I love it.
Okay, the next match we're going to talk about is Videl versus Popovich, because we're getting towards the end, okay? So this dude's like literally invincible. He's getting hit. He's not, I wouldn't say getting his ass kicked, but he's taking blows. Videl's going hard on him. At one point, his head gets twisted around, and everyone thinks he's dead. And she even's like, I killed him. And she's like all emotional about it. And she's all rattled. And of course, he's not dead. He like legitimately rises from the dead.
Yeah.
And then he lays a beating on her, dude. Maybe the most brutal beating I've seen in this show ever. Ever, dude. And early on, there was a Gohan beating that I remember talking about being like super hard to watch. I couldn't remember. Was it Raditz?
No, I think it was Vegeta.
Was it Vegeta?
Yeah.
Vegeta, like,
it was
fucking
super violent, dude.
fucks Gohan up on Namek.
I think this was worse, dude.
Yeah.
To be honest,
It was quick. The thing is, with when Vegeta did it, Gohan, it was quick.
This
Yeah.
was.
It was like 2 hits, I think, and he broke his neck.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
broke his neck.
But
yeah,
this,
right.
this one, it's like,
baby boy, broken neck.
But this, you're right. This one, it's like it's a longer beating.
Yeah.
because this one is just like you're toying with them at this
Yeah.
point, right?
And he's like scary violent. And Vegeta was like
I'm
not
gonna fuck you
scary
up,
to
like,
me
I'm
at
not,
the time. You know what I mean? This guy's
you
like,
know what it is? It's the malice behind it.
Yeah.
It is, totally. Yeah.
yeah.
Vegeta's was a means to an end. This is
Yeah.
Popovich and just enjoying hurting somebody.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Goku identifies while this is all going down. And this is also funny too. Like, how did nobody else identify this? He's like, he's not giving off any energy. And I'm like, don't you all sense energy all the time, constantly? How come he's the first one to be like, yo, don't you guys realize? And they're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was weird. So that's strange, right? And then Videl's just like hanging in, dude, forever. Which again, like, she's tough as shit. Don't get me wrong, but she's getting her ass kicked. And then out of nowhere, the other weird little muscly dude steps in, like Spopovich's buddy, and is like, "Hey, dude, stop."
Just finish it.
He's like, "We got to focus on the plan."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the fuck is the plan? And who are these guys?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening here?" And now again, Videl's
You know
like,
what it also is too, man. I think it's the violence on women that's hard to digest.
maybe he
right?
is honestly. He seems like this. You know what it reminded me of? The fucking gross like rock dude.
monster from Ninja Scroll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's gonna do some awful shit to her if we let him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Again, it's also like the fucking evil.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah, you're
So-
right. Yeah. Okay, so Videl's like almost dead, but the fight's finally over, and Goku's like, "Hey, I'll go get a senzu bean," as if it's a brand new idea. No one had thought to bring them,
Yeah. Why,
or that they exist. Like,
they don't have like 50 in a bag
Yeah.
somewhere.
why don't they have a fucking senzu bean farm, dude? Why aren't they growing
Yeah.
these things?
Well, Korin is the only one who can really provide them.
Yeah.
And you
Where do
never
they come from,
You
dude?
never really get those. At least
don't
as
get
far
those
as I
answers.
know, you
Yeah.
don't get those answers.
That
you
annoyed
just-
me.
yeah.
Especially in the way that he's like, "Hey, I'll get a senzu bean," and Gohan's like, "That's a fucking great idea."
Yeah.
Like,
Why didn't we think of this?
Yeah.
Why didn't you, motherfucker?
Yeah, you idiot. Just have them all the time. Don't ever not have them. Just always have
That's
them.
also a long-standing argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't
totally.
they always have senzu?
Yeah,
beans,
well,
right?
because they can. It ruins the whole point of the
Yeah,
show.
exactly.
Right? They'll just never lose, which they don't anyways most of the time. Okay, so also it's taking Goku a while, right? Like, he has instant transmission, so it should be quick. And they're
Yeah.
all like, "Why?" And then we like go to see him, and he's kind of just like chilling out with Korin. Like, he's
No
not in a rush
urgency.
at all. Meanwhile, Videl's literally like bleeding out.
Yeah.
And in the hospital, Gohan is there with Videl talking, and Mr. Satan comes in, and he also like loses it that they might be an item. He's like not happy about it. And I'm like, "Oh, I actually kind of ship them, so fuck you, Mr. Satan." Yeah. But like, it was a weird little scene, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also cute because it was the first time they acknowledged that they might become an item.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they both
couple.
might be feeling that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
They have
so
feelings and care about each
yeah,
other.
and so do I. I like them both. They're cute. Okay, we're getting really close to the end. So Spopovich and his buddy are like scheming behind the scenes or whatever, and they're talking about their plan, and it doesn't really make any sense. And they have this weird little random device, and it has a logo on it that matches the logo on their foreheads. And I have no fucking idea what any of this means.
That logo is a very important.
At this point, I have no idea. And then right before Goku heads back, Korin basically tells to him, like, just so you know, like, it's not gonna go well. Like something fucking crazy is happening here, and Goku's like, okay, cool, whatever. So he heads back.
In Goku fashion.
Yeah, exactly. Goku is fighting the Supreme Kai's buddy, whose name I forget, like the big pink dude.
Kibito.
Kibito? Okay, and then Piccolo reveals to everyone that the little pink dude is Supreme Kai, and then the Supreme Kai tells everyone, like, hey, if shit goes down, like, don't intervene, which is, like, weird, but okay, whatever. Gohan powers up. Wait, is it Gohan versus Kibito or Goku?
Yeah, no, Gohan.
Gohan, okay, I fucked that up. I
Yeah.
said it wrong. So Gohan powers up, and then, like, out of nowhere, Spopovich and his dude, like, attack the shit out of him. They put their device in him and steal all his power and run away. And the Supreme Kai and all the Z fighters head off after him, and then the big pink dude heals Gohan, and they head off after him as well. And then the Supreme Kai explains what we're going to see in the next fucking season, that there's, like, was an ancient wizard named Bibidi,
Babidi.
who made a monster. He made a monster.
Yeah.
And then the Supreme Kai killed Bibidi, and the monster's name is Majin Buu.
Yep.
And he's left, like, kind of like sealed up, and they're gonna release him. Sorry, Bibidi's son, Babidi,
Yes.
is gonna go release Boo,
Yes.
Bibidi Babidi Boo, and resurrect the monster, and they have to use Gohan's energy to do it.
Yes.
And that's, I guess, what we're gonna experience in the next season.
Yeah, and this is the season that really brings it all together.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm hopeful. I don't give a fuck about the names Bibidi Babidi Boo. And I'm like pretty checked out about like it actually following through and impressing me. I don't expect that to actually happen, but I am hopeful to an extent. I don't know. It feels like we're building up to like the large finale. Like there's Grand Supreme Kai.
Yes.
Again, I'm annoyed that this is all coming together in season 7, that it was like such a slow road. But it does feel like it's going to be big. I don't know.
It is. I mean, for us, it was pretty big.
Oh, for me,
Yeah.
it was huge. But I mean, you know, you're experiencing the classic hangups that people have with serialized anime, and serialized
Yeah.
stories. Is
The
you know, at
drag.
a certain point, Toriyama was told you're getting serialization, and all of a sudden, whatever stories he had to tell,
Yeah.
had to get much longer.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of a sudden.
Yeah.
It was not going to be a tight thing anymore, and
Yeah.
that's the big draw. Like that's why a lot of people I know that love anime
Yeah.
straight up will not watch something that's been serialized.
Yeah.
Like no matter
Yeah.
how much they love anime, they will not watch Dragon Ball or Naruto or One Piece or Bleach or anything that got serialization.
Because they know what they're getting into.
and they're mostly right up until a certain point for sure.
You know, yeah, because it's the whole idea that these are cash cows at the end of the day, right? Because you know they got really popular, and so they're trying to milk it for as much as they can.
Yeah.
And that's why you get so many filler episodes, right? Like Naruto's infamous for that, right? Yeah. And you know you get the filler episodes in Dragon Ball and any serialized anime.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, as someone who's grown up with that as it's been coming out, you know, it's easy for us to have the nostalgia for it, but for any new anime watcher or like somebody that is like, you know, an adult or whatnot, I can definitely see why it's so hard to consume.
So you're saying you understand me?
A little bit,
once.
a little bit. I'm throwing you a bone here. Just fucking
I
take
appreciate
it.
the sympathy, dude. I've needed the sympathy for 6 fucking seasons, dude.
Well,
The
'cause-
slow drip
Yeah.
is definitely the best way to absorb something that's this
Yeah.
long form is
Yeah.
a slow drip. To approach this and stand in front of it, this monument of anime, like it's overwhelming and it's going to be off-putting to most people. I feel that way about One Piece.
Yeah.
I'm like I want to watch that show so bad, but I look at it and I'm like, I
I'll
could
never
not
be
even.
able
it is
to.
a daunting task.
But had I been watching it slow drip my whole life, I would fucking absolutely love that. And,
Totally.
and I, at no point in my young life watching Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
did I feel the fatigue.
Yeah.
Did I feel like, oh, this is dragging?
Yeah.
I only ever just wanted another fucking episode, man.
Bro, I feel
didn't
so
care.
much fatigue from
Dude.
this show.
yeah.
I know, but it's
I know.
you're approaching it
Yeah.
like in an entirely different way.
And
So
like
that's sorry. That's why
Okay.
I finally give you a little bit of sympathy now because
Now?
now because
Okay.
you finally persevered through it all.
Oh, I had
And-
to earn your sympathy? Is that what you're trying to say?
yeah, that's exactly.
Oh,
it.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Well,
it.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I will say I sympathize with the people you were saying before who like huge anime fans who won't watch these serialized animes because as a non-anime fan, even before this podcast, there's a lot of anime that if either of you had suggested to me to watch, I would have watched it. If someone had said, hey, you should really watch Dragon Ball Z, I'm going to be like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Too much.
I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Here we are.
And
Here
I
we
finally
are.
earned some sympathy.
Yep.
And you have some, I think, some exciting stuff to look forward to.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good roller coaster ride sprint towards the end,
Yeah.
and then the movies. I keep bringing them up, but like the standalone movies that they released, sporadically as the anime was coming out.
Yeah.
Some of them are very good, dude.
All right.
And it's nice to get a contained story out
Yeah.
of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
That's done in an hour and a half.
Yeah, with the characters you love.
With the
yeah.
characters you love, and it feels lean. It feels to the point. It feels
Yeah.
poignant.
I'm gonna have to try really hard to break out of my already emotions and feelings from the shows to watch those movies because they're gonna bleed in.
They should,
Yeah.
for better or for
Yeah,
worse, dude.
yeah.
They're the same characters in the
Yeah.
same world, and you want it all, man. We want to give you the
true.
full picture here.
I know, but I'm saying I feel like I might be able to enjoy those movies more if I can release some of the hangups I have about the show going in.
I wouldn't feel like you were really honoring it then if you were forgetting things or not
I'm not saying forgetting.
carrying things through.
I'm not saying carrying nothing through. I'm just saying some of the things that bother me a lot. You know what I mean? I'm trying to throw you guys a bone here and telling you I'm going to try.
I don't want you to pretend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Regardless, I think this last season, it's a big one. There's a lot of, like I said before.
more seasons.
Two more
Sorry,
seasons.
2 more seasons. There's a lot of mechanics that are in there. There's a lot of fun stuff that, are very well known and kind of embedded in the anime culture now, right? Like certain dances, for example.
Shut up, Mikey.
Wait, what?
Just shut up. You've already said
dude?
too much.
What the fuck, dude?
Anyways, guys,
Anyway, guys.
let's get some scores going
my
here.
God.
All right, Jordy, what do you give this?
I threw it a 5 out of 10. This show is still painful, I'll be honest with you. And I think I've probably said this before, but I would 100% be stopping if I wasn't committed to this with you guys. I do really appreciate Gohan and Videl as a character.
It's a nice surprise.
Even nestled among the nonsense that is Great Saiyaman, their character development stands out to me. And yeah, the beating Videl took, I'll be honest with you, as hard as it was to watch, I feel like that gives this show some maturity that I have needed from it for a very fucking long time. So 5 out of 10. I mean, I don't even know if that's more or less than I've given it previously, but
Doesn't
it doesn't
matter.
None of our scores ever matter, so no.
Did you hear that, everybody? Our scores mean jack shit.
Yeah.
And we're not keeping track.
Yeah,
so you
except
shouldn't
Mikey's
either.
very specific and never changing scores. Those are very important.
Only one solid score ever.
Yeah.
This running joke is getting old, guys.
I love it still, dude. I love it still.
Yeah. You don't get to decide that.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, Jay?
This is a rough season for me. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. It's definitely not my favorite. There's definitely some chunks of the season that drag. My favorite thing by far is the Trunks and Goten stuff. I love those characters at this age in particular. I just think they're so much fun to watch, and it's such a cool dynamic seeing them as these shithead little kids with like weapon of mass destruction power.
Yeah.
Being little kids.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
that's so much fun to me. So I like that aspect. So yeah, I'll
You
give it
got
a
to
6
tell
out of
them,
10.
don't fucking blow up that island. That's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Goten, honey.
Don't
Yeah.
kill everybody here.
Yeah. Take it easy on your cousin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I give it a 7 because I also like Saiyaman, and the only thing, like I said, is that this season is the transitional season, right?
Yeah.
This is the serialized. I also have a soft spot for Super Sentai stuff because I love that. So I give it a 7, but it's definitely not the best season of.
It's so hard to cover these transitional seasons as standalones,
Yeah.
but that's what we're doing, and so
I
it's what we
yeah.
get. You know what I mean?
It's what we decided to do from the beginning. So
We're doing it.
We're finishing
we
it.
are finishing
We're gonna
it.
get there.
We're gonna get there, and then I'm gonna make you watch Naruto because I think that one you'll actually like.
You think so?
I hope so because there's a lot of stuff that happens.
I'm gonna break your heart, my dude.
Oh my god, I will fucking fight you.
I think you will like Naruto more.
Yeah, there's
I don't think you will outright like it,
Yeah. Okay.
but I think you'll like it more.
All right.
Yeah.
I really hope you end up liking it.
But yeah, that was fun.
That's
guys.
it.
Hell yeah.
That was a
All
good
right.
one.
So where can people find you, Jordy?
I'm at reaching in on Instagram. Say what's up.
Yeah. What about you, Jay?
I'm at hanger.91 and hanger91.bigcartel.com. I've been drawing dragons lately, so go look at them.
Dragon Balls, specifically.
yeah.
Testicles. And
What?
Mikey,
What? Is that what those are?
Yep.
keep it together.
Is that what those are? Do they have 6 each?
6 each.
7.
Seven.
Is
Yeah,
it 7?
Yeah, it's 7.
Oh, I pay attention.
Also, go check out Never Not Kittens. They're a non-profit kitten rescue.
Yeah.
Please donate. They do good stuff. They've got a TikTok. You guys can find me at Korean Barbecue 86 on Instagram, or most likely on our Discord. Come hang out. And on the TikTok at Shmanime Pod.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.